Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world of Group Trucks Asia and joint ventures. My name is Bengt-Göran Ingemar Rosqvist, but please do call me BG. And I'm the Driver Development Manager here in HQ. Welcome to the fourth episode of our series 5 Minutes with BG, where we tackle tips and tricks on driver development. The first topics has been released and we see numerous comments coming in, but don't forget, we need you out there to tell us what topics you would like to see handled. So don't hesitate to send us a message on our email or leave us a comment. And we'll make sure one of the next episodes is dedicated to the things that you want to see. This little video clip will take just a couple of minutes, but it can save lives. So pay attention as we handle the topic good and bad habits. As I said, in this episode we will talk about good and bad driving habits, and more importantly, how to avoid the bad ones. It is therefore vital to know which habits that you as a driver should strive to adopt. When you look at the image, it seems quite peaceful. Driving along on a gently rising road in the mountains, but don't let your bad habits surface. They may lead you into trouble, and that's when it gets really dangerous. So let's get into it. Let's talk about those good and bad habits, shall we? During life, all develops habits. Some are good and some are bad for safe driving. We don't describe or focus on the bad habits, but instead explain the good habits and let you decide for yourself which, if any, are your bad habits. Thorough versus a poor pre-drive inspection. Professional versus sloppy or tardy appearance. Safe following distance versus tailgating. Polite versus aggressive driving. Friendly or correct use of horn or abusive use of horn. Correct or late use of turning signals. If you scored all on the left side, you're doing great. But if you recognize some or all from the right side, there is room for improvement. We will not go into details of the pre-drive inspection, since specific checklists are available, as well as videos for Quester, Kroner and Cruiser trucks. However, the tire checks are worth mentioning, since the tire's condition are key to your fuel economy as well. The tire pressure should be checked with a gauge every single week for two key reasons. First, if you have a slow leak, you will know about it. Second, the air in your tires follows the laws of physics, and pressure decreases with temperature. As a very loose rule of thumb, for every 10-degree drop in air temperature, your tires' pressures will drop or rise by 1 psi. Always report any faults found according to your company's routines or policies. If you find a fault that is safety critical and may endanger your own or other road users' safety, don't drive the truck, but inform your manager immediately. For many companies, you will be required to wear a company-provided clothing or uniform, and to comply with our safety and security policies. These often include commitments to safe driving and protecting the environment, and even to ISO certifications. Familiarize yourself with all policies and adopt your working style accordingly. Make sure your personal appearance is clean and neat. Maintain your uniform or clothing in intact and clean condition, without tears or holes in it. Use safety shoes, if provided, and keep them in good condition. If work locations or customers' premises require the use of proper personal protective equipment, PPE, follow these requirements. These rules are put in place to protect you and other workers from injury. Always check your PPE, and if it's damaged, torn or not fit for use, do have it replaced. This is particularly important for helmets and high visibility clothing that may deteriorate over time. Some items even have a best before date or time limit attached to a label by which date or time limit it should be discarded. Finally, be polite and courteous when interacting with customers or customer staffs. Do not engage in arguments about damaged goods or property. These issues should be handled by your company's claims department. Naturally, the same rule applies to your behavior on the roads, since you never know when a manager from a client company observes your driving and behavior on the road. Many companies also encourage other road users to call them if they observe their trucks driven in an unsafe manner. Remember that the driver who just cut in front of you, he may be the manager, owner of the company you are delivering goods to, and to be aggressive towards that driver may cost you your job, or could even cost your company the loss of a valuable transport contract. There is no more dangerous activity than tailgating, since it takes away your ability to respond to a sudden change in driving conditions. The 3-second rule must be applied as soon as the traffic is flowing at a speed above 30 km per hour, since this will give you a safety margin if there is a sudden accident ahead of you. Naturally, some vehicles may filter in between you and the lead vehicle, but this does only add a few seconds to your overall driving time. To check your distance, select a fixed object, a tree, electric pole or bridge, and start counting 1001, 1002, 1003. Start counting when the lead vehicle passes. If you pass the object before 1003, you are too close to the vehicle ahead. Using the horn is often done by drivers to greet friends or to let other road users know that they have done something that upsets them. This is not the true intention for installing the horn on vehicles. The horn is there to be used to warn other road users of your presence, and to do this, a nice, friendly tap of the horn is sufficient. Also, before reversing, it is good practice to tap the horn even if your truck is equipped with a reversing alarm. The primary reason for the horn, though, is to be able to warn people in a developing dangerous situation that might lead to an accident. If you are approaching an intersection where a car is about to pull out and the driver is looking the other way, here you must signal and be ready to brake in order to avoid a potential accident. A signal in this kind of situation should always be accompanied by your right foot moving to a ready position over the brake pedal. This simple move may be the difference between a near miss and an accident. Just as important to a good customer relationship is to keep your truck clean and tidy, both on the outside and the inside. A dirty truck does not provide a good image of your company, and shoppers seeing a dirty truck delivering goods to a supermarket may start to wonder that if the truck is dirty, how does the inside of the store look like? The cab of the truck must be cleaned regularly, just as the bodywork and chassis. Windows should be clean and without obstructions to visibility. Clean and tidy trucks are a good advertising for the company and improves the reputation. The company I once worked for had a client in the ready-made food industry that required in the contract that the trucks be cleaned twice a week. Since the client's logo was on all semi-trailers and they wanted a clean appearance. You should also keep the cab in order, since this makes your working days easier and you don't have to search for things. Develop a storage plan for your cab, use a duffel bag for your change of clothes, and keep your working gear separate from your private stuff, and in such a place that they don't slide in under the pedals, blocking their operation. Keep all your transport documents in one place, and if you have more than one delivery, sort them accordingly. Organize your load in an efficient manner and secure your loads to prevent them from falling off or getting damaged during transport. Clean the inside of box bodies delivering food items or other goods to stores regularly to prevent goods from becoming dirty. If you are in a shop, would you pick up a dirty package? Of course not. All comes down to the end user's impression of the quality of the product. Even for trucks operating in the construction industry, dump trucks, concrete mixers, etc., it is important to maintain a clean and tidy vehicle. Make sure no part of your load can fall off and cause damage to other road users. When your truck gets damaged, see to it that it's repaired as soon as possible, since a damaged truck gives a poor impression. These are just some of the habits that we as humans develop in traffic. So how did you do? Are you applying good driving habits in your everyday driving, or do you still have some habits that you need to work on improving? The important thing is to stay safe, professional, and keep being a safe driver in order to fully enjoy your work driving a UD truck. Well, this brings us to the end of the fourth module, and I hope that it has brought you some new insights. Feel free to use this module in your training sessions, and as always, for any questions or comments, please send them to our email address. It was nice to have this interaction with you all, and see you in a couple of weeks for the next module. And as always, have a good one.